If you are enjoying the activities and stories that we're putting up on Facebook, please do give us a like below. Also, you can share our Family Support Facebook page with your friends and family. It's time for an activity now.
Good morning, AlbyTV viewers. Hello, I'm Claire. This morning we are going to be making some lavender bags. Lavender is in abundance at the moment, and I'm sure during this lovely weather that we're going to have, you'll be out and about somewhere. So if you see some lavender, collect some, okay? It smells lovely. And to make the bags, I've got a breathable fabric, so we want something thin, something that still can let smells circulate. I would normally use muslin for this, but I don't have any. One thing I have got a lot of at the moment is my son's school shirts. So as you can see, I've kind of cut this one up a bit already. I'm pretty sure that most of you are going to have some school shirts lying around, considering that children haven't been at school. So yeah, a shirt or some thin breathable fabric, and you'll need something to tie the bags with. So you can use some string or some lacy ribbon. If you haven't got any of those, you could use some elastic bands. And if you don't have any of those, what you can do is, I'm going to show you how we can make a tie from the shirt as well. So, the lavender itself at the moment is quite wet. It's not dried out fully. When lavender dries out, you can see the difference here. So this is one from last year. This is one from this year. Got a really, really rich, bright purple, and then we've got a really dark, dull, grey purple. Your lavender inside the bag, if you make it now, will end up like this because it just dries out through time. And this is really crumbly, so as you can see, and it's lets off all these lovely little pieces. That is the lavender. This is a year old because I make these with my son every year. This is still as strong smelling. I've even made this for my nan many years ago when my son was very, very little, and she still has them and they still smell really lovely. So they make a really lovely gift, or you can keep them in your own cupboards or your drawers. And they smell really lovely, and they'll keep everything smelling nice inside your cupboard. And in terms of, we're thinking about babies and sensories, you know, them with their smells, which I've probably spoken about a bit, hopefully you've heard, making one of these little bags, and the smells on their hands, the smell of them, it's really going to heighten some of their senses, part of their sensory development. Okay, what I did with the shirt, so here I've got a square, or a rough square, which is about 15 by 15 centimetres. You want it to be quite big, enough so that you can pack it with your hand, like so, because you want enough in there to keep circulating it and smell, really. So what I did was, I took a part of the shirt, hopefully you can see, I might just move you down, so there you go. So with the shirt, there's a seam. You can see this seam here where I've cut. Again, you're going to need some scissors, so if you're a child and you're watching, make sure you get an adult to help. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it over to make a triangle, and then we'll know the guide of roughly the square. Can you see that? So I'm going to cut along the shirt. I must say, I've been very excited about this one. I've been waiting for the lavender to grow long enough so that I could share this with you. This is one of my all-time favourite summer activities. So, there we have a square, okay? Now what I am going to do is this part here where the buttons are, I'm going to cut that so that I can make the tie out of that this morning. If you can use any coloured shirt, it doesn't have to be white. As I said, it's just because I had the school shirts. If you use other colours, there might be different coloured buttons, or you can decorate it. And so there, I'm going to use this as my tie. Now with the lavender, as you can see, and I've got some here in my pot that I made the other week for you guys. So even collecting the lavender and putting it in a tin can that you've decorated, you've automatically got a lovely little decoration, and it smells nice. What you want to do the lavender, which is great fun, all children like helping with this, is just pull off the leaves like that. So you're just pulling down. The stems themselves smell absolutely lovely, but if you have stems inside the fabric with the bag, what's going to happen is they're going to be quite pokey. So if you are going to use this with a baby, probably not a good idea to use the stems. But if you are going to make this for an older family member, what you can do is just cut up the stem really small, because lots of the smell is held in the stem. So I'm just cutting them into tiny, tiny pieces so that they don't poke out. If you collect the lavender now and you collect it like this in a decoration, in a tin for decoration purposes, you will find that as it starts drying out, you've got your lavender stored ready to use for this activity in a few weeks' time. So you can make it now, or you can make it in a few weeks' time when the lavender starts to dry out a little bit more. Where I live, there's loads of lavender, so we always pick it. It does attract the bees. The bees like the lavender, so do be careful when you're picking it. If you want to wear some gloves, just make sure that you don't pick it from the bottom of the bushes, because we have pets and things that take walks and might have made it a little bit dirty at the bottom. So try to take it from the top levels. And be careful of the bees, the buzzy bees. Okay, so I've cut up one of the stems just so I can show you really how it looks. So just tiny pieces like that. And then we add in all of the lavender inside. My hands smell amazing. Now with the lavender, I made some candles the other week. If you wanted, you could use the lavender in the candles with the wax. That make a really pretty design. If you're making some sensory bags, you can add some of the lavender in. The clear bags with jelly or anything. It's got loads of purposes. And there we go. So we've just got a nice cluster of the lavender. So I'm going to pour it inside the middle. And there we go. I'm just going to take out these long stems because they will definitely poke through. And the older stems, so although the leaves are drier, the stems are a bit more harder. So you've got different textures for the different stages of the lavender. Okay, so now we've got the lavender. It cups nicely in my hand, quite full up. Can you see? So I'm going to join corner to corner and then corner to corner again. So I've got 4 corners now, all holding them together. And then I'm going to scrunch in the sides, like so. And then one more. You want to make sure that there's no gaps, because if you was to leave that like that, the lavender would all fall out. So it's got to be nice and tight and secure. You can make these as big as you want, and if you want to make them even bigger but just put a smaller amount of lavender in, you're going to end up with more gathering. So yeah, nice and scrunched. And I'm going to use the shirt button string. There you go. Just because this is, if you don't have any string at home, this is what I'm suggesting that you use. So you just put it round and then you would tie it. So it's got quite a nice design. Can you see the little buttons at the front? There we go. And with these bits at the end, what you can do is if you cut them, because they're quite thick and they're a bit chunky, you cut that in half, you make a slit up here, then it will look a bit more decorative, which if you're giving it as a present, you might want to do. And if you're not fussed, you don't have to, okay? So I'm just going to cut that last button off. Then we cut this one. My scissors are not the best scissors to cut that one, so I'll leave that. But you can see the idea, okay, that you're just cutting it and giving it a different design. So I'm just going to take this one off, just so I can show you with the string. Again, you want this long enough piece of string to wrap around it. With the string, because it's thinner, you've got more scope to tie it around a couple of times, which really does make it secure. And it looks very authentic, you know, very natural resources. And a nice big knot, and then you can tie a bow in it. And if you wanted to make a little label, you could. And there you have it, a lavender bag to add to your drawers, to your cupboards, to make for babies to smell. I mean, of course, they might want to put it in their mouth, so you have to make sure that you're near them. You supervise, of course. But this is a really lovely activity that you can make whilst you're out and about and you see the lovely lavender growing. Please get some and give this a go, okay? And if you do, send us your photos. Thank you very much for tuning in to AlbyTV. I will see you on Thursday with another activity. In the meantime, check out our webpage and our virtual centre programme, which you can find the link for on our website and on our Facebook page. Enjoy the sunshine, make sure you wear a hat, make sure you have some sun cream on because it's going to be really hot the next couple of days. And enjoy. Take care everyone, thank you very much. Goodbye.